Hello, this is Amber Mirza with yet another episode of Conscious Business Talks. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit because I noticed that the height is not right. Give me 1 second, please, guys. I cannot seem to move it. And just a little bit. Okay, I think that's a little better. Perfect. And let me see if I am able to be heard. And I think we're a go because I don't hear anything from anybody telling me otherwise. Let me know if that's not the case. So today is an interesting episode just because I wanted to share with you something that I uncovered after I aired, putting myself out there, claiming a date just because I didn't want to not claim it, even if it wasn't fully out there, even if it wasn't fully baked, so to speak, right? And the strategist and the planner in me, the analytical part of me, was screaming a big, huge no. But it was more to challenge myself to actually do it and not put it off, because I know that I have a propensity to put other projects and other people's needs ahead of mine. So it was really um, to not give myself that out anymore. But after the show, I looked at what I was planning to do, how clear it was sounding to people of what I wanted to actually communicate, and also just in terms of a strategy before you start putting the cart, before the horse, how was it actually looking? So that's where there was an interesting interplay of reflection, planning, and also putting in some pieces which allowed me to step back and let things flow to me, more cognizant of and aware of the self-care portion of things, which I tend to struggle with. That is my Achilles heel. It is something I'm very aware of that I need to have in place, but it is something that is very much an ongoing, so far an ongoing work in progress for me. And that's where a lot of my self-doubt, or in the circles that we hang out in, you'll know when I say imposter syndrome. That's where a lot of those questions come in, that if I struggle with this, what makes me able to go on and talk to people, share my insights, or teach anybody anything, right? And this is what I discovered over this last week, that giving myself that space, even when everything in me was saying, wow, you literally just went and put it out there, you made this claim. And by the way, I screwed up on the date because a friend of mine had said, oh, that will make it the 22nd. And I'd been going so busy, I actually thought, oh, okay, that does make it the 22nd, not realizing the 22nd didn't even give me the 2 weeks that I said, even during the show, that I was looking to give myself. So that was the part where, one part of me was like, oh, well, there goes my credibility. What a dingbat thing to do. And notice that the self-talk, what a dingbat thing to do. Well, that's not how I would let anybody that I'm helping speak to themselves. And yet here I was going, well, there goes my credibility. Well, and really, that got me to thinking about how many times are we just attracted to this notion of sweeping it under the rug, making up something, hiding it, just so people don't clue in that we messed up? Just so it allows us to save face, not 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 have somebody question your authority or your credibility, or even, just like, I gasp, your expert hat. So this is where I was like, okay, so what am I actually trying to do? What outcome am I trying to give these people that I care so much for? Like I I care to the point where my purpose is tied into their success. How much more connected and invested could you possibly get? Their success, your success is my success. That's how I measure it, right? And then having to go back and say, okay, that wasn't set up in a way that allows me to deliver clearly what I want to. What do I need to have in place? And even with that time pressing down on me, given that I set that date and I want to keep my word, am I actually looking after myself in the way that I should as I preach to people that I help to do? Am I practicing what I'm preaching? And that's where integrity to me comes in, right? If I'm trying to do things in a manner that does not set me up to deliver with success, to treat my body, my mind, my soul with honor, to give myself that space, what am I doing this for? And how authentic am I being in delivering it in this manner? And this is where, I actually ended up having days where my list was really long, but I wasn't pushing myself to do it. I actually let things flow. And today, as I sat down, I had a meeting with two team members who I was directing to how the page was going to be set up, what the copywriting needs were, and so on. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of just have this thing where, yeah, this is a different name. I need a logo for that, but I have like sort of a quick one that I kind of just threw in myself. And I, just all those little bits and pieces, tactical bits and pieces. But the strategic part of it is what most of my mind was occupied with earlier, apart from those meetings. So I was like, okay, what is it that I'm trying to deliver? And what I'm trying to deliver, my gut says, is really a set of sharings and teachings and guidances which allow people to put in place in a very brief period of time a map that takes them through the foundations of the conscious business, what I'm talking about in the conscious business talks, right? So what does that mean? What that means is during this challenge, I actually want people to learn how to regroup and connect with what you really want your business to represent, stand for, and model. How to use filters, to a simple set of filters to make decision making that takes up so much of our time, the mind space, to make that easier, right? And liberate your time, because now it's going through a set of standards that filter out anything that doesn't match. And that also has the added benefit of attracting the right people with so much more ease than ever before. I want to show and share how to clear the fog from what you're really working towards and what in the world for, so you don't end up having climbed the wrong mountain. How often do we find that we have achieved this pinnacle of success, but it's not what you really were shooting for? And so it doesn't feel the feeling of fulfillment and achievement and success, it doesn't actually click. It's empty. You don't want to climb the wrong mountain. And how to rethink and reposition yourself in your industry so you can win the right game with the right tools before it even starts. How cool would that be? How much less time, energy, and effort would it take if you have that bit in place? And for you to then just build on it so that success just builds. I want to talk about how to set up a strategy for your business where all your team is centered around a common goal and the clarity just permeates each level and role in your company. So again, what I started talking about in this in the whole, very first episode of Conscious Business Talks, right? And then every episode then built on it. Um, I want to share how to cut, like everybody talks about, all this noise around you, and especially these days, like most of the noise that's around you is based around fear, and how to, you know, get the power away from things that don't serve, and how we have to do it this way because nobody listens. And even in the marketing circles, just the noise of everybody um, sharing, and talking about what they can do for you and what they have achieved and how this will make your life so much easier. So much noise that you are literally stuck, not knowing which way to go. But really, actually having a filter that cuts through that noise and gives you the clarity you so desperately need as a business owner, right? And really, the bonus of it also is, let me show you how to conquer imposter syndrome once and for all. And frankly, going through this work, let me show you how you can do it in less than 1 hour. Sounds pretty preposterous, right? How often do we struggle with that imposter syndrome? But what if you had a set of tools to let you do just that, so that whatever project you're working on does not get compromised or threatened by you having those doubts and negative thoughts surface to challenge even what you want to present before you ever present it. So this is some of the stuff that's going on to that page, because I thought, what do I really want to talk about during this challenge? What is it that my heart really wants to do? This isn't a gimmick. This isn't a thing where I just want to, um, pan my wares and say, hey, me too, me too. I've got something for you too. And frankly, because I like straight talk, my intent with that is that when you go through this and you are setting that foundation, you're getting that map for yourself. Let me show you how to ignite that into a profitable business that actually works, despite what some people told me was a really idealistic set of values, right? An idealistic frame of mind. Well, I take that challenge, and that's why I set that challenge up, because I want to show people how is it possible to do all this so you're feeling fulfilled and energized and focused, refueled, right? And at the same time, your business is more profitable with more ease than ever before, right? So I'm taking my analytical side and plugging it into all the things that some people challenged me with was my idealized set of thoughts. But it's not. It's my connected side that acts despite my analytical side, posing the questions in along with it, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'm just going to go in and take a look at the comments to see what you guys think of what I have shared. But I wanted to get that out so you would have better clarity as to what my whole thing was in having this challenge, right? And now that I put that out there, and I know I'm not going to backtrack and not do the challenge, I am going to give myself the time, perhaps not the full length of time that normally I would if somebody came to me with money in their hands and they said, set me up with a perfect campaign. It would probably be a little bit more time than that. But still, I'm figuring, you know what? Once I have the copywriting and the messaging part looked at, because again, that is practicing what I preach. I want that messaging to be clear. I want people to know what I'm trying to share. And then have that reflected onto the page and drop the link for it. Once I drop the link, give myself 2 weeks from that date. So I'm thinking probably the second week of May is when I'm looking to do it. But I think you guys also know I'm a little bit of a renegade and I like to do things fast. So don't be surprised if it ends up happening earlier than that. If I can get people on board tomorrow and somebody makes that page live for me, because yes, I am fighting the urge to do it myself. I'm really fighting the urge to do that myself, that tonight I go on, I throw it all in, tomorrow morning the link goes live. Maybe it will go live, but it will go live if I can get somebody else to do it, because I had a chat with somebody else today and I actively encourage them to not wear all the hats and slow their progress down. So I'm taking that pill myself. Okay, so let me take a look at the comments and see. Awesome, there's Vicky. Hey, how are you doing, Vicky? So good to see you. Larissa, there you are. And oh man, yeah, we must be kind to ourselves too, but it's that automatic talk that sometimes pops up when I don't even think about it popping up, right? It's just like, oh, look at that. How did you mess up? But yeah, and uh, it's truly, it comes from my heart. I measure my success through the success of the people I promised to guide, right? And I'm invested in helping. So for real, this is real talk for me. Genuine care is positive intention. Yes, beautiful words, Larissa. You're absolutely right. And the intention to me is foundational, right? You start with the right intention, you build on it with your actual actions that you're putting in place. So, and Vicky, yes, it is exciting. It's taken a lot of thought. You can probably tell from the way I'm presenting today that it's taken its own toll on me, because I had not been treating myself with kindness in terms of self-care. Too many late nights, early mornings. There is so much going on in the family, trying to pour myself out to every place and every person whom I love, right? So it's taken that toll, and just allowing that flow to come to me despite the time weighing down on me, and kind of saying, I have to be in integrity with what I'm trying to get others to do. How can I say do this if I'm unable to do it for myself? But along that same thought, my struggles with this, in my opinion, also make me a really good person to take others through it, because this isn't something that's from 10 years ago, right? This is something from last week, right? And this is something that I am constantly aware of and putting in place. So all the things that are working for me, I get to share with people that, hey, this works. Try it. Maybe it works for you too, right? And oh my gosh, you're making me so happy, Vicky. You said so much more clarity. Yay! Okay, so much better than last week, right? But I have to confess, last week served its purpose. It really did. It allowed me to get something out that I perhaps would not have put in place otherwise, right? So give me 1 second. I just need to grab a little bit of something to drink. My throat was getting parched. Okay, let's see. Larissa says, truthful flow of connections and purpose. Yes, it's a constant melding too, isn't it? Because you're taking that, you're making sure you are authentic in what you're saying, and you're melding and weaving your purpose throughout, so your values are shining through. You're building your organization the way you mean to go on, because otherwise people are attracted to something that is not you, right? And Larissa says, ability to make complicated issues simpler and clearer. Yeah, and that is my ongoing quest. How can I make things simpler, right? Because complexity kills things, at least in my experience, right? It may make you sound really smart, but it kills your momentum. So I'm not into really things that are really complex. And Anne says, need to feel fulfilled. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm at least seeing a lot of that these days, where I'm like, what is it that I'm seeing? People, I think our souls thirst for that. So regardless of what we achieve and how much we how many check marks we get on what how many markers we hit, right? Or how much money we made, or how much, if you're in a career, how many promotions you got, right? Or if you're in a business, what your revenue and your sales and all, your gross profit margins, what they're doing. It doesn't matter if you're not feeling fulfilled. It just doesn't, it feels empty. At least that's what I found. And says, girl, you and just about everybody, right? Me, myself included. And Vicky, I love you. I truly I need that, because it's something that I use to kind of fuel me as I go along. That, am I on the right path? Am I actually connecting with the people whose opinion I respect and cherish? And Ricky says, that is the beauty of entrepreneurs. They get so excited they just run with the ball, and that is not always healthy. No, it's not. But it tends to be something that we kind of, it's again always that balance thing, right? Too much of this and then bring this back in balance kind of thing. So guys, that's what I wanted to share today. And it makes me so happy to have you be here with me sharing your thoughts, because my plan with this literally is, if I just shared this with somebody that I was helping yesterday, and I said to them that, look, in terms of simplicity, you could have, a beautiful website, a sales page, your funnel, everything. But literally all you need is the word to get out through the right people who believe in your mission, and spread the message, right? So frankly speaking, I'd be happy if 100 people got to hear about it and just, spread that to whomever. So if I can take through this and bring to success those people putting those foundational elements in place, oh my gosh, how many people would those 100 people touch? It gets me excited just even thinking about it. And it's not a big number, right? I'm like, 100 people, but really, 100 people, the ripples that causes, that's freaking huge. So I would love to have your help. If this resonates with you, if you think this is something that's worthwhile, I will be counting on you to help me spread that message. Anyway, see you next Thursday. I might do a little pop in if I get everything lined up early. So you may get notifications for a special bonus session. But if not, I'll see you next Thursday, same time, 8:30 Eastern. That's, I believe, 6:30 Mountain Time and 10:30 Brisbane time in Australia. Love you guys. Mwah! I need to be faster on the draw on this thing. Bye, guys.